Hey guys, so today we're going to learn how to express opinions about friends. And we're going to come up with some vocabulary, how to describe what is a good friend and what is a bad friend. And we're going to have a discussion on what makes a good friend. So I'll just wait for a few people to join. Hey guys.
Hi. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks for asking.
Sorry I started class a little late, but my computer got really hot and my internet stopped running, so Burbling would not open.
Don't worry.
Alright. Okay, so what I want us to start doing is to make a list of adjectives or phrases to describe an undesirable friend. An undesirable friend. And that is someone who is not a good friend. So I want to see if we can come up with a good list. Not good friends. A decent list of vocabulary to get our conversation started. All right. So does anyone have any ideas on what makes a bad friend?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
For example, treacherous and unfaithful.
Okay, so unfaithful, and what was the first word?
Treacherous.
Treacherous?
Yes.
That means, okay. So what do you mean by treacherous? That they're mean, or because treacherous means afraid of or scary. So you.
Okay, so I was confused with that adjective. Sorry. So forget about it.
No, it's all right. So sometimes we would say, like Mount Everest is treacherous. So it's not only difficult.
There's a song called Trageros, and in the song is like, this love is Trageros. So I thought it could be with a friend.
No, maybe you are correct. If you write it in chat.
Okay.
Because maybe I'm not hearing it correctly. All right. I do not know what charities and trackers are. Can you explain, Demet?
I already wrote it in the chat.
In chat? Okay.
Yeah.
Just I want to ask what did he say? I asked about it.
Okay. He said, I'm pretty sure qualities, and you heard charities, so qualities.
Yeah, something like that.
Or characteristics. So we're listing qualities or characteristics, which are adjectives of a bad friend.
Mm-hmm.
So can we come up with any more words to describe?
Have one.
Great.
For example, a friend that only calls you when need help.
When they need help? Okay, so awesome. A friend that only calls you when they need help. Okay.
Yes.
What else? We can also make it a little bit more general so that we can talk about something that makes a bad person as well. So maybe that would make it easier. So someone who is a bad person or a bad friend, what do they do? What do they act like?
They are dishonest. They don't. They break the promise.
Yeah, so they're dishonest. They don't keep promises.
Yes, not reliable.
Awesome. Yeah, they're not reliable. Okay. I'll add one word. They're a bully. So they may pick on you or make fun of you, put you down. So they call you mean things. So a bully as a friend is not a good friend. All right. How else can we describe a terrible friend or a bad person?
When maybe you tell secrets to this person, and this person tell these secrets to other people.
Yeah, awesome. So if you want a good word to know is they're not trustworthy. So they're not trustworthy. And then for some slang, you can say they're a blabbermouth or a gossip.
Can you write this word, please? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Blabbermouth or gossip, or maybe sometimes a tattletale, which means if you do something bad, they tell someone about it. So if you make a mistake, yeah. Okay. What else what else can people do to make them not a great person or to make them a terrible friend? If they don't tell the truth, what is that?
They are liars.
Yeah, so a liar. Okay. All right. So I have a list of words, and I'm going to post them in chat.
Maybe
And
I think maybe one of my friends. So you have a girlfriend, and this friend likes your girlfriend and try to do everything that if he wants to be with her, you know. I think this is something bad sometimes.
yeah, so we can say if the friend who steals your girlfriend is married or has a girlfriend, you can say he or she is an adulterer, or in easier terms, cheater. So they cheat. Or we can say
girlfriend thief. No?
yeah. So yeah, you can say girlfriend thief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's word 6. I didn't know.
Or boyfriend thief. It works if you're describing the person. So you can say, I don't like him. He's a girlfriend thief. So means he's stolen more than one girlfriend. He's stolen 2 or 3.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anyone else have anything we can add to the bad friend list? Okay, so I'm going to post the list I have in chat. It's a little long, but I want us to go through it and just pick out the qualities that are negative. So qualities that are for a bad friend. So confident in his or her abilities. Is that a good friend? Is that good quality or a bad quality for a friend?
It's a good quality, no.
Yeah, good. Okay, so that won't be on our bad list. Handsome or beautiful?
It's good.
Yeah, it's good. And we'll go over some vocabulary here. So handsome is used for men when they are attractive. Attractive is used for men and women when they are good looking. When they are good looking. You can also say good looking for men and women, but beautiful pretty, stunning. That's for women. And then also some slang, hot, like it kind of means sexy. So you can say like, oh, like he's so hot, and it's kind of it's less than saying they're beautiful. You just think they're very attractive. You think they're sexy.
But this
Alright.
word works for both
Yeah.
woman and man, yeah?
Yeah, so it's for men and women.
Okay.
All right. What about trustworthy? Is that positive or negative? Where are we?
Trust.
Trustworthy.
It's
Positive.
Yeah.
Positive.
I suppose it. Okay.
Outgoing.
It's positive, I suppose.
Positive.
Yeah.
How could outgoing be negative? So how can outgoing be a negative characteristic?
I think maybe when it's a little bit excessive, because an outgoing person is when that person isn't shy at all. So maybe sometimes can, I don't know, mess it up.
Yeah. So if they're outgoing excessively, it's annoying probably for us that are not that person who's super outgoing. So when it's excessive, it can be annoying. We can also call them an attention hog. So they have to be the center of attention. Is that clear, or do I need to clarify?
It's clear.
It's clear? Okay. Awesome. All right. What about timid? Positive or negative?
Well, I think it's going to depend on the person, no?
Yeah.
Because, for example, sometimes people likes to have a timid friend, but other, how do you say, outgoing persons don't like to be with timid person.
Timid. Yeah. So that brings up a great point. So extroverted would be someone who is outgoing, to give you some more vocabulary. And introverted is a synonym for someone who is very, very timid. And can anyone give me a synonym for timid?
Shy.
Yeah. So timid is the same as shy, but introverted is someone who is very shy. They may have trouble speaking to people they have never met before. They may get very nervous, and like in a public space, they may try to make themselves invisible. So that's someone who is introverted. Okay. Punctual.
That's good.
Good. Okay, so what is punctual?
It's like reliable also, maybe.
Yeah, so reliable when you're speaking about time. So if you tell them to be there at 3 p.m., 15 o'clock, they will be there at 2 minutes before 3, so they're punctual. Okay. These do not look... Okay, intelligent. Positive or negative?
It's positive. It means clever.
Yeah, so intelligent, clever. Any other synonyms for this?
Smart.
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 Yeah.
Can say smart, no? Smart, man.
Yeah.
Clever.
Wise, maybe.
Oh, wise is a good one. I put brainy. Yeah, that's a good list. Can intelligence be a bad thing in a friend? Can too much intelligence make a friend a bad friend?
But I think the problem is not the intelligence. I think is the way that he or she managed that. Because if he's a little, I don't know how to explain it. But if he thinks that he's better than the other just because know a little bit, a little things more than the rest, I think that is the bad point.
Yeah, exactly. So intelligence is a bad thing if your friend's attitude is that they're smarter than you. So the way that you show your intelligence, exactly, Carlos. All right. Okay, fun-loving. May have to. Fun-loving. So fun-loving means kind of carefree. Like carefree, like a hippie, laid back. So is that positive or negative?
I think it's positive.
Positive.
Yeah. Well, I think it's very positive because many people have problems every day, and if you are with these people, I think your day is going to be better.
Yeah. Can anyone tell us how being carefree and fun-loving is negative? No? Okay. So would anyone agree if I said, I may not believe this, I'm just saying this, that people who are carefree sometimes do not have opinions or strong opinions, and everything's okay. Everything will work out. We don't have to do anything. Life will work itself out. Would anyone agree with that point? Or can anyone dispute that? No?
Well, I think you say the extreme aside, about this word, careful,
Mm-hmm.
because maybe sometimes people can be like that, but not in that extremely side. Well, I don't know.
Yeah. So being laid back and carefree can be a good thing, but you're right, it comes down to the extremes. So it's better to be moderate and not to be completely carefree or completely laid back, or to be rude when expressing how you feel.
Yeah.
All right. What about a friend that is rich or well off? Would you consider them to be a good friend if they were very wealthy?
I think it's the same with the intelligence. It depends the way he or she behaves in that position. Because if he's a good person and it's friendly and it's nice talk with him or her, I think it's gonna be great. Have a friend like that.
Yeah. Does anyone know how rich? Yep, so rich equals wealthy. What we call people who are very wealthy, who donate a lot of money to organizations or to countries in need.
Yeah.
So someone who is wealthy, who donates a lot of their time and money, philanthropist. So they're a philanthropist. So that's a very great characteristic to have in a friend, not just to have them to take you out to nice dinners. All right. Uh, what about artistic abilities? I don't know if we can discuss this one much, but is that a good quality or a negative quality?
It's a good quality.
Yeah, good quality. All right. Inquisitive minds. So first, can we come up with a synonym for inquisitive? So I don't know if you have this cartoon, but in the United States, we have this monkey, and his name is blank. So the word we're looking for, George. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? No? Okay, so
No.
curious. Yeah, so inquisitive is curious. We have a character, Curious George, and he teaches children how to be inquisitive, but to not be too curious, because sometimes being too curious is dangerous. So it's following the expression of curiosity killed the cat, which is one of our idiosyncratic phrases in English. So if you're too curious, something bad will happen. That's what it's telling you. All right. So yeah, is an inquisitive mind a good thing? What do you think about that? So if you have a friend who is curious, would you find them interesting or boring or annoying?
It's boring when a child has curiosity, no? Because you sometimes you can't manage these children. But when somebody is growing, the curiosity is starting to lost. Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
Uh,
to
to lost,
um,
to
oh my God,
waste or something like that.
to weaken. Maybe it's not as strong. You don't have as much
Yeah.
curiosity when you're older.
Because
Yeah.
in this time is very hard to find a people who has curiosity because maybe social networks killed this curiosity in people.
Yeah, so it's a nice characteristic to find in someone who is curious and likes to learn new things every day. All right, and I'm scrolling back up. Okay. Some of these are pretty similar, so I'm just okay. Plans for the future. Is that something you look for in your friends? I don't know. So do you try and be friends with people that like to plan their futures? Is that a good characteristic you look for, or not one you look for at all? So do you understand what plans for the future are?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, I think that is okay for me. It's pretty important because it's a person who cares about the future and is not just waiting for that the life brings to him or her. So I think it's something important if you want to to have a nice life in the future.
Yeah. So how can we describe a person who plans for the future?
Maybe someone who likes saving some money. Maybe someone who is thinking all the time in maybe get a house or maybe get a car or thinking in get a better job than already have. I think it's like that.
Yeah, exactly. So people who plan for the future, they have goals, and they're motivated. they're motivated, and they are hardworking, as you mentioned before. So they don't wait, as you said, for life to give them what other people have, what they may be jealous of. They work for it. They earn it.
Yeah, also I think that could be also a bad thing if you are too much I don't know freaking out with that because sometimes the people forget the reality, the present, and just are thinking in what I'm going to do tomorrow, but never live in a good way today. So
Yeah, that's great. So you should live in the moment as well.
yeah.
Yeah, so everything in moderation. And then I want to talk about one more characteristic from this list, which I didn't make the list. I took it from a lesson online, but speaks English well. Just wanted to go over that. So is that a good characteristic or a bad characteristic or not important at all? I don't know why it's on the list, but I just wanted to know what you thought. So, so we can
It's a
change it.
good.
It's a good thing. We can also
Yes,
change it. No,
but
continue.
I think is in every idiom, in every language, it's important that the people talk well the any language.
Yeah, exactly. So I think in any language, I agree that people should be able to speak well and present their ideas clearly. So I just had a discussion question for us that I would like to explore further, which is, so what do you look for in friends? So what do you look for in friends? And I had another question, but I just forgot it. So what characteristics do you personally look for in your friends? Because you have friends and you chose them for reasons. So I can share first as an example. I really like people who are intelligent. So my boyfriend is getting his PhD in chemistry, and he likes to read a lot, newspapers, online articles, everything. I learn something new with him every day. So I like people that are very intelligent, that are kind of nerdy, because I get to learn something from them. Yeah. So, so if anyone has an example.
I like, for example, when he has a good mood.
A good
Good
what?
what?
Good humor, good
Okay.
mood, or
Yeah.
Um, or maybe when I laugh a lot with him or her, for example, is like is that like me?
Always a good thing. Friends that like you or are like you, similar to you.
Yes.
Cousin Russell posted reliable. Good. Anyone else? I heard someone speak up.
Well, I think
And
no, go ahead. Sorry.
okay, and if they are intelligent, is good because we talk of many topics, and it would be interesting.
So you would like someone who can challenge you in a conversation?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, I like
Well, in my opinion, I think maybe when you grow and when you have many experience in your life, you're going to start to meet people that maybe you try to find people that is going to be at your same level, you know. For example, somebody doesn't like to read so much, so he's going to find a people that with the same characteristics, you know. So, for example, I study petroleum engineering, but always I try to find other people very different about the same career, because people that study engineering are very quadratic. I don't know. Yeah, it's very.
Right.
No, it's like, for example, you have to do that. You must do that. You have to.
Yeah, it's called anal retentive. They're anal retentive.
Well,
So
yeah, I didn't know that word. Yeah, so I try to find other people, for example, like study social communication. Yeah, people that other different thinking about me. The other thing is going to be, for example, that is good friend uh, that he likes or she likes to know about you. These things, I think it's not going to it's not going to work on me, because every person is different and you have to understand that, I think.
yeah, so you like to have a wide range of different
Yeah.
kinds of people as friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. And would anyone else like to disagree or agree with him about choosing friends based on where you are in life? So he mentioned that you have friends at a certain time, but they may change based on your goals. Does anyone agree or disagree? Okay. Silence. Oh man. All
I
right.
didn't understand your question.
Yeah, so I'll try to rephrase. So I can't say his name, but okay, Vargas mentioned that you have friends for a specific, I used your last name, sorry, for a specific point in time. So at the beginning, he mentioned he had engineering friends because he's studying engineering, but then he realized certain characteristics, maybe they were a little neurotic or they were similar a lot, so he made friends that were studying different subjects.
Careers.
Yeah, careers. Had different careers studying different subjects. So we say you branched out. So you branched out. So you made new friends for this new point in time. So when you had a realization of what else you were looking for in life. Is that clearer for some people? Okay. So for instance, my example would be when I started college, I made friends with girls that loved to drink and party. And that was stupid because I don't like to do those things. So for the first year of college, when college was exciting and new, these girls were great friends. But when I wanted to get serious about school, about my career, about learning another language, they were not supportive, and I had to find new friends. So does anyone agree or disagree with Moises' view that you have friends for a certain period of time for what you are looking for in that moment of life? Or would you disagree? So
I
I
agree.
agree. I agree with Moises.
Okay.
One point.
And why is that?
In sometimes it's good find people different than you because sometimes would be a complement of your personality. And if you, for example, are shy and your friend is outgoing, and sometimes your friend will help you in some cases, and is in that cases I think it's good some difference. Yes, I think that.
Good. And I heard from Carlos De La Fuente. I think you wanted to say something as well.
No, I just agree with Moises.
Okay. Well, can you tell us why? I'm going to make you practice. So why do you agree with Moises?
Okay. So, for example, when I started my college, I used to, how can I say, to make friends.
Yeah, so I made friends.
Yeah, I made friends with my area, so it's in specific job. It's very comfortable to me because people like me studying the same subject. But now I just finished my college and I'm working, so I'm changing my friends. It's like it's more comfortable now. How can I say branching out? Yeah, made new friends. Yeah. So that's it. I think your relationships, your friends, whatever, it changes. Depends of your life, your goal, or something like that.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So do we have anyone in class that disagrees? So anyone in class, I have some friends who have had the same friends their entire life. And I mean from birth until now. And we're in our 20s. So does anyone else out there disagree and have had the same friends their entire life and would like to share? No? Okay. So I've changed friends, but I've had one friend since I was 8 years old. So maybe someone out there in class can talk about a long-term friend that they have had and what makes them such a good friend. So maybe a friend you've had from your childhood or from high school or 20 years working in the same company. I don't know.
Yeah, just let me say something because
Yeah.
You hardly ever I have just one friend like that, since I was a little kid. So I think it's very hard. You grow up with someone, with a lot of people, a lot of friends. I'm sorry. So I just have one like you, and I think it's very difficult. It's like you grow up with a lot of people, a lot of friends, and I have a lot of friends since I was a kid. I think it's really, really hard. I had just one friend like that, so that's my point.
Yeah, so what makes what makes that friend different from friends that you have met in the present or in the recent past? So what makes a long-term friend different? Aha, the names are popping up. So we haven't heard from Hussein. Yeah? So Hussein? So we haven't heard from you.
Yeah, can you hear you? Can you hear me?
Yes. So
Okay,
do you have a long-term friend? A friend
yeah,
you've had?
most of my friends since my childhood.
Okay. So what makes these friends so good? What are their qualities?
They're always with me, all the time.
All the time? Okay.
Since from my childhood, if I do mistakes, they're always with me. If I do good things, they're always with me. They don't leave me alone.
They don't leave you alone, and that's a good thing. Yeah. Yeah, so maybe we can say long-term friends, or maybe friends in general that you consider close friends are like family. Would anyone agree or disagree with that point?
Actually, your family is your friends, but not too much.
Not too much? And why is that?
Because sometimes they cannot understand you.
Okay. Alright. So I see Arzu Amadova. Yeah, you posted in chat. So what do you agree with, and can you explain? And I want to stress there's no right or wrong answers in class. I just wanted us to express opinions and talk about friendship. So, all right. I think she's on the phone. Okay. All right. So does anyone else agree or disagree with friends are like family? What do you think?
I think that long-term friends get to know you very well, and I have, for example, I have two long-term friends, and we are very close, but we don't meet very often. But when I meet with him, it's very I like very much meet with him.
So when you see your friends after a long time, does it feel the same as when you were younger and you saw each other all the time? Or does it feel different? Does it seem different? Or does it stay the same?
It stay the same. Yes, I feel like when I was child, we laugh as like used to, and I like it.
Yeah. So long-term friends, maybe the relationship, it changes a little bit, but the relationship may stay the same for years. And I have one long-term friend that I mentioned, and I don't see her for a few years at a time. And it's still like we're in the 3rd grade and nothing's changed. Even though I live in Europe and she lives in the US, or I live in the South and she lives in the North. And now we're in our 20s and we're not 8 years old anymore. It still feels the same. All right. So does anyone have a discussion question that they would like to contribute to class for the last 5 to 10 minutes to ask about friendship?
Well, I have opinions about that. That is, when you know that person. For example, I have a friend too like that. I met when I was doing my 6th grade, in my high school. And when you, for example, 2 years ago, you start to find that you're not going to find more characteristics in that person because you know all about that, and when you find that, you start to behave, or you start to get behaviors in this person. You start to behave like that in some characteristics, and I think this is sometimes this is bad because you must know every knowledge of different person. So, but it's good to it's good to have a friend like that because he knows you everything. He knows you. Yeah, he knows everything about your life. And when you're bad, you can call him, and maybe he can give you a cue or good words to start again.
Yeah, so do you mean, if I'm interpreting correctly, to keep your your independence or autonomy so that you don't blend into one person? Autonomy. So that you remain different people, but also, did I understand this correctly, not depending completely on just one friend?
Well,
no?
so it's not depend on just one person. It's start to behave different because how I said, you would start to behave like this person in some features.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So maintaining who you are within your friendships. That's also, yeah, so maintaining who you are within your friendships. Sometimes you know your friend closely. Yeah, and so, yep, and you mentioned not maybe liking everything that you learn about this person, or that you know everything about this friend or this group of friends. So you need to find more people to be friends with because it would be a very small relationship, maybe. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and your knowledge is going to be very, very small,
Yeah. So you can say that your knowledge would be very limited. So it wouldn't expand, it wouldn't grow, because you would be with the same people every day. Yeah.
Yes.
Would anyone else like to contribute some thoughts before ending class at all? Anything that you want to say? I know we have not heard from Essa or Cousin Russell. I saw some posts in chat as I was reading along. Do you guys? And Lewis, you're back in class, but I don't know if we've heard from you today. Would you like to say anything about friendship or friends? Okay. All right. So my last question for you guys. So what are the characteristics that are most important to you in friends? So what are the characteristics?
Friends could be helpful. Can you hear me?
Can you repeat?
Friends could be helpful. Should be helpful. I mean, they should help each other.
Does anyone, can you expand that idea a little bit more? I'm not sure I understand.
Okay, all right. I mean, your friend should help you, or you have to help your friend.
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
so a friend who is willing to help you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great characteristic. What else? What do you find to be the most important characteristic? So before we end class, I want everyone to tell me one thing that they think is the most important in a friend, and then I'll let you leave.
Honesty. I think
Honesty.
honesty is the most important characteristic to be in our friends. And friendship, it's a good thing in our life. So honesty and not selfish. I don't know what's the right word to
Yeah,
say,
so
but
they're selfless.
yes, I think is
All
that.
right. And Arzu posted understands everybody. So we can say someone who is sympathetic or empathetic. Empathetic.
What is it?
So someone that understands. All right. A few of you. One characteristic, and then you can go. Sorry.
Modest,
What? Sorry.
modesty.
Modesty.
Yes.
What's it mean?
Humble.
Humble.
Modesty, humble.
Yes.
Is that clear? Maybe a dictionary. Someone who doesn't think too much of themselves. I don't know if that's a little clear. Loyalty. We mentioned before in class intelligence. Okay. All right. Well, oh, funny. Yeah, so humor. Humor is definitely important.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, great class. I really liked that you got involved and expressed your opinions. That was great. And I tried to tie that into this theme. So I hope it worked well. Maybe a little bit. So I hope you guys have a great night and that you learned some vocabulary. And most of you got to practice speaking a lot. So you guys did awesome. And I'll see you tomorrow. I'm teaching 3 hours. So look for me on Burbling. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Laura.